What's up, family? We actually have some good news in regards to the Fed chairman might not need to raise interest rates next month. This is a great thing, guys. Things are allegedly going as planned according to their projections. They wanted to raise interest rates to get American people to stop spending money. And it looks like that's actually happening. I've got the details, so let's go ahead and talk about it in this video. Last year, guys, inflation was a huge thing. In fact, last year, guys, we hit the biggest numbers that we have ever seen in regards to the inflation rate. And as you can see right here, guys, inflation for 2022 ended up topping out at around 8%. And as you can see over this huge statistics right here from 1990 through 2022, inflation ended up being the highest that it has ever been in over the past 40 years. Yes, guys, this was a record number, which pretty much sent the economy into a downward spiral, which pretty much is put us into the recession that we are in right now. And in fact, guys, we do have some good information because the Fed chairman has been raising interest rates over the past 2 months or so, trying to get the inflation to come back down, as well as trying to improve the economy a little bit more. However, things have not been going as planned. But we do have some good news today because we just got information that the consumer spending is finally coming down. This was one of the goals that the Fed chairman said that he was going to do by raising the interest rates, which should cause the American people to stop spending money. And in fact, guys, this is finally occurring, which could have some good news here to follow. But anyways, guys, the consumer spending has been falling very rapidly. According to this information, it says that the retail sales fell 1% in the month of March, according to the Census Bureau data that was released this past Friday. Analysts had expected sales to drop around 0.4%, but it ended up falling a little bit higher than projected. And in fact, retail sales are up 2.9% annually, but when adjusting for the elevated inflation, sales are actually down 2% annually, meaning that Americans are buying fewer products. Now, spending is still going on at the gas stations, general stores, electronic retailers, car dealerships, and furniture stores saw significant drops over the past month or so. Online spending was the only area where sales actually went up, rising around 1.9% for the month of March. But in regards to this particular data that we did receive on Friday, which I believe was the CPI data, this data will only reinforce predictions of a recession later this year. We just talked about the same thing yesterday on yesterday's video, guys, in which consumers have been dealing with sky-high prices for years, and it has eaten into their finances as of now, which is why we are pretty much sitting in a recession, and it should get a little worse later on this year. But the good news is that they did say that we should expect to have a mild recession more than we were expected to have a very high demand recession. So that is some good news, guys, because we definitely don't want to see anything like we saw during the financial crisis back in 2008 or so. So the good news is that people are stopped spending as much. The American people, they're spending a little bit less, which should cause the inflation numbers to come back down again, which hopefully it prevents the Fed chairman from raising the interest rates once again. And in fact, we did get some information on that as well. The Fed rate hike for the month of May is still in odds. It is still on the table right now. However, we did find out that the ECB policymakers are converging on a 25% basis points hike rate for the month of May. However, because of this good information in regards to people are spending a little bit less and the inflation is coming down just a little bit, things are on track in regards to the Fed chairman and their projections. So right now, guys, in regards to raising the interest rates next month, in the month of May, that is on the table. They still are debating whether or not they will actually have to. But if they do, the Fed chairman has said already that we are probably going to see at least one more rate hike coming this year. But if the information continues to get a little bit better and better and better, it could mean that they could waive this 25% basis points hike rate next month. That is a good thing, guys. That could give us the actual U-turn to turn this economy back around once again. And hopefully the American people won't have to suffer much longer. But again, guys, it is still on the table. We are just going by the recent projections. It could turn around as well, guys. But I definitely want to keep you guys informed of this information because we are still in a recession, guys. So plan accordingly. Moving on, guys, we do have some information in regards to the Supreme Court and this student loan debt settlement that has been going on for the past few months or so. The Supreme Court has just stated that, look, they don't want to stop this $6 billion lawsuit or this settlement that is going on right now. They want to let it go ahead and play out altogether. It says right here that the Supreme Court will not stop the legal settlement that would cancel more than $6 billion in student loan debt from students who say that they were misled by the schools, mostly for profit schools or institutions. Now, the settlement is the result of a class action lawsuit from nearly 200,000 borrowers against the Department of Education in 2019, which accused schools of boosting enrollment through misleading advertisements, as well as exaggerating the quality of their education and the future job prospects. And after years of litigation, the settlement was reached last year, but 3 institutions appealed the agreement to the Supreme Court, saying that their inclusion was a scarlet letter and severely damaged their reputation. Right now, guys, a total of 151 institutions have students impacted by this particular settlement, and the 3 who challenged the suit, Lincoln Education Services, American National University, and Everglades College, have about 3,500 students eligible for the student loan relief. So anyways, guys, that is still going on right now, and it looks like the Supreme Court doesn't want any part of it. They want to let it go on as it has been going, and see how the chips fall, if you will. So anyways, guys, if you are related to that particular situation, that is some good news for you. We'll just have to see how this lawsuit continues to play out with these 3 particular institutions that are trying to appeal the entire decision. But again, $6 billion is on the line right now and going to be provided back to those particular 200,000 students that were misled. But anyways, guys, switching subject in regards to the President Biden student loan debt relief, it is still going on in the court system. Recently, there was a conservative justice, Amy Howell, which she spoke about the issue on this student loan forgiveness plan by President Biden, and she didn't have good things to say about it, guys. So anyways, guys, that is still in litigation, trying to figure out whether or not that is still going to be proceeding rather further. They do have a new recent lawsuit in regards to the student loan forgiveness plan. So that is another holdup in regards to this being approved or being denied altogether. So anyways, guys, not much information on that. It is still going through the process as usual, but hopefully, guys, we will find out more information about that very, very soon. Moving on, guys, we talked about it in yesterday's video in regards to the rain pour that ended up coming down in Fort Lauderdale, Florida, a couple of days ago, in which it ended up pouring down. Basically, a storm cell ended up flying into Fort Lauderdale and ended up stopping over the entire city and just pouring down rain, in which they said it was about 4 to 5 inches of rain every single hour, which was crazy, guys. They ended up having a ton of flooding and downpouring, and as you can see right here that they ended up talking about, this was pretty much life-threatening flash floods that was going on in Fort Lauderdale. They ended up having to close down the Fort Lauderdale airport altogether, which pretty much pushed all of their traffic directly to Miami Airport, which is an international airport, which I'm sure it was just going bananas there. But anyways, guys, the torrential downpours caused major flooding in South Florida, in Fort Lauderdale. But the good news about all of this, guys, there have been no deaths. Praise the Lord, guys. Right here it says that Fort Lauderdale warns residents about the flood waters, and they could contain rodents and snakes. However, the good news is that there have been no deaths that have been reported in regards to this downpouring, the torrential rain that ended up happening in South Florida. So that is definitely some good news. We definitely don't see news like this in the past, but seeing it right here, guys, definitely want to shout about it all together. So kudos to you in South Florida, Fort Lauderdale. And last but not least, guys, I do want to warn you because the deadline is approaching over the next 48 hours or so. And that is because tax day, guys, we all know it. Originally, tax day is usually around April the 15th. However, that ended up falling on Saturday, in which they ended up pushing it back to Tuesday, guys, which means that you have a little more time. And I am not just talking about you guys. I am talking talking about myself. I recently filed an extension, as I typically do. But anyways, guys, tax day, tax season is here, guys, and it is almost over. But your tax refund, your tax filings is due this Tuesday unless you filed an extension. And here are a little bit of details in which you need to know about tax day on April the 18th. Yes, it says that 3 days after the normal April the 15th deadline, giving procrastinators like myself, maybe you, a short reprieve to file your income tax returns, or at least file an extension this year. The regular deadline falls on a weekend in Washington, D.C. Emancipation Day is on Monday, which means that they're going to have tax day, official tax day, on Tuesday. By law, D.C. holidays affect tax deadlines for everyone, the same way federal holidays do. The IRS says the holiday marks the end of slavery in the nation's capital. More than 168 million individual tax returns are expected to be filed, with the vast majority of those coming before the tax deadline, according to the IRS. And April the 18th, guys, is the last day to make contributions to your health savings account, or your Roth IRA, or your traditional IRA, individual retirement accounts, for the 2022 tax season. Yes, guys, this is just a little bit of information you might want to know. In addition to that, it does say that for taxpayers who live in areas that have severe storms or disaster declarations, the IRS is offering a tax relief with extended deadlines that apply to various individual and business tax returns and tax payments. May the 15th for New York winter storm and snowstorm victims from late December of 2022. July the 13th is the deadline for storm victims in Tennessee, Arkansas, and Mississippi. We definitely keep them in our prayers as well. And October the 16th for disaster area taxpayers in most of California and parts of Alabama and Georgia. We also want to keep them in our prayers as well, because they definitely had devastating storms in all of those 6 states, guys. So anyways, keep them in your prayers. But on the flip side, they do need to know that they do have an extension on filing their tax returns for 2022. So anyways, guys, hey, that's all I have for you today. I hope all this information in this video was helpful to you today. Well, anyways, guys, hey, that's all I have for you today. But feel free to check out some of the items down below in the description. There are a few ways for you to be able to support this channel, as well as some opportunities for you to receive some free money in the form of free stocks. Yes, guys, if you sign up with a Moomoo account or even a Webull account, they are going to give you free stocks, which could be worth up to $3,000. And all you have to do is deposit as low as 1 penny. I know you got 1 penny, right? But anyways, you can also get the Amazon Prime membership for free for 30 days. So you definitely want to try out that, as well as all of the benefits that it has to offer. But anyways, if you are interested, check out the links down below in the description. But anyways, if you enjoyed today's content and you want to see more, go ahead, subscribe to the channel. It's totally free. And if you like today's video, then go ahead and hit the like button for us. It really helps out this channel, as well as it tells YouTube to share this video with others. But anyways, hey, I appreciate you guys stopping by and watching, and I hope to see you on the next video. Peace.